channel PMM classes. In this video, I am going to discuss about greenhouse effect.
Students, the topic we will learn today is about greenhouse effect. The name greenhouse is given to a special glass house in which plants are grown. The plants growing in the soil inside the greenhouse receive the sun's radiation only through its glass walls. The temperature inside the greenhouse is higher than the temperature outside. This is because the rays entering from the glass walls of the greenhouse gets trapped there. Students, so the phenomenon is quite kind of like this. This is a greenhouse, you can see. The walls of greenhouse are made up of glass. So when the sun rays, here is the sun, when the sun rays from the outside comes towards the greenhouse, what happens is that these rays are being trapped inside the greenhouse. So you will find out that the temperature inside the greenhouse is quite high than the temperature outside. So this high temperature makes it suitable for the plants to grow efficiently, and this is how greenhouse is used for growing different kinds of plants. So students, when the sun rays, this is the sun, when the sun rays falls on the walls of greenhouse, a part of radiation falling on the earth is absorbed by it. It means some amount of sun rays are being trapped inside the greenhouse. Now, some gases like carbon dioxide, water vapors, methane, nitrous oxide and chlorofluorocarbon have the capacity to trap the heat radiation. These gases are responsible for increasing the temperature inside the greenhouse. Hence, they are called greenhouse gases. So, the kind of radiation that is warm when trapped by these gases, what they do is that they warm up the surface of the earth and increases the earth's temperature. Hence, at a moment, these warm airs now is released outside in the atmosphere and they increases the earth's temperature globally. Now, what are the causes of increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere? First, the coal and the wood, when burned as domestic fuels, release carbon dioxide CO2 gas in the atmosphere. And students, we have learnt it very well that carbon dioxide is a very good conductor of heat, and hence it increases the temperature of the outer atmosphere. The second reason is because of thermal power plant. In thermal power plant, heat is being produced by burning of coal to generate electricity. This leads to enormous release of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide gases into the atmosphere. The third reason is indiscriminate deforestation causes imbalance in the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. With fewer plants, now the consumption of carbon dioxide will decrease. Hence, the release of oxygen O2 will also decrease, therefore increasing the whole temperature of the earth. Now, what are the consequences of greenhouse effect? What kind of disasters that greenhouse effect can cause to the earth? First is global warming. Due to greenhouse effect, the average temperature of the earth atmosphere is gradually increasing. This is called global warming. Luckily, the consequences of global warming first will be glacier will melt at higher rate. This will lead to rise in sea level resulting in floods and loss of soil. Second, warming of atmosphere often leads to forest fire. You have seen this kind of huge fire. These have become very common over these years. So students, is there any measures from which we can prevent the global warming from destroying our lovely world? Yes, there are. Global warming can be checked by checking the release of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. A number of measures has been suggested to achieve this. First, the use of fossil fuels such as wood, coal, petroleum, etc. should be minimized. Second, electricity should be generated from hydroelectric power plant and nuclear reactors. Third, deforestation must be stopped and more trees should be planted, like we plant in Ban Mahotsav. This can help in reducing the effect of global warming. And the use of chlorofluorocarbon must be reduced. Students, we should be very much aware of this fact that all this phenomenon of greenhouse effect or global warming are caused only because of the air pollution. So, is there any measures to control air pollution? Yes, there are. First, use of smokeless chulha, solar cooker and biogas instead of fossil fuels for cooking purpose. Use of unleaded petrol in vehicles. Use of CNG in automobiles. This will release less amount of harmful gases to the atmosphere. Use of alternative sources of energy like solar energy, hydropower, wind energy and nuclear energy instead of conventional source of energy such as coal and petroleum. Sticking to pollution emission norms from automobile exhaust and continuous upgrading to the relevant Euro standard. Avoid burning of crackers. They cause a lot of air pollution as well as noise pollution. Install tall chimneys with filters in factories. Locate them away from residential areas. Plant more trees, that is, do afforestation. Undertake more Ban Mahotsav like programs normally celebrated every year in the month of July. Enforce strict anti-pollution measures. Regular monitoring of air quality by the government and other agency at various locations. Avoid the burning of dry vegetable waste. Collect it in a pit and make composite. If we try to burn the waste product in an open area, then black smoke are being released which causes a large amount of air pollution. Students, while going through this chapter, we have come across the term climate change. What is climate change? Climate change refers to any significant change in the measures of climate lasting for an extended period of time. In other words, climate change includes major changes in temperature, precipitation, wind patterns, among other effects that occur over several decades or longer. Always remember that climate change exists for a longer period of time. Nowadays, you can see that we receive a very good amount of rainfall in the month of March and April. But according to the traditional time, India should always receive rainfall in the month of June and July. This kind of untimely rainfall is causing agricultural related problem. Therefore, farmers are facing a number of difficulty in growing their crops. Hence, This kind of rainfall is due to the climate change. Now, what are the effects of climate change? Like warmer oceans, rising oceans, more acidic ocean, shrinking glacier, melting Arctic ice sheet, increasing severe heat waves, which we also call Lu, which flows in the summer. So students, what we have learned from this chapter is that we should always try to protect our environment and try to avoid those activities which can cause air pollution like serious problems. Also, we should take part in planting trees and afforestation activities so that we can make a better world for our future generation. Now, very important keywords are given in the last page of this book, like acid rain, air pollution, carboxyhemoglobin, global warming, greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases, marble cancer, pollutant, pollution, smoke. So these are the important definition that you must all remember. Thank you for joining us. Hope you have understand this chapter very well. Now we will see you in the next chapter.